Hey everybody, welcome to another review. Appreciate you stopping in. And today I have a camera that was sent to me for review, sent to me in exchange for a fair review. So we're going to go ahead and get into it and talk to you about it. They advertised this camera as a pet camera, kind of a security camera, and we'll kind of talk about that. And tell you what I think of that kind of situation there, about their claims and whatnot, and we'll get into whether or not this thing's worth your time and money. We'll kind of just go over the design of the unit. It's like pretty much like any other camera, but they added a couple of cool features. They added a pretty good size external speaker for the purposes of the two-way communication this camera has. The microphone is on the front, and this moves around. The base moves around to position it in any position you want. It can be positioned like this, or it can be positioned completely upside down like this. Either way, on the back it's got a reset button, micro USB plug on the back. Cord is pretty long. I'd say this is a good 4 foot long, 4.5 foot long cord. Power plug, plug the USB cord into this, into a standard wall outlet USB plug. Here's the box it comes in, and on the side, as you can see, it does, see if you can see that. Well, it's gonna get glary. There we go. It does say it's kind of a security cam. So, and inside the box, you got the instruction manual, of course, instruction manual. Don't really need it though. Screws to mount the metal plate. And then there's a square metal plate that's the same size as this blade. It's the same size as this base that you can screw or attach to something. And the bottom of this camera is magnetized. It sticks to anything metal, which got me thinking pretty quickly how cool this would be to have mounted inside my van. I could run this off of a hotspot, have a real quick, easy security cam inside my van. And I think I might try that later on. Just see how it works. On the side of the camera is the micro USB card. You can put a micro USB card in here. It does not come with it. I put that in there myself so I could test out the feature. That's pretty much the gist of the camera itself. And let's kind of get into the app. I'm going to show you me kind of just walking through the app. But before I do that, I want to talk to you about the setup procedure. Basically, it's real simple to set up. There was a hitch in the get along that was my fault. I want to tell you about it. So if it happens to you, you can quickly fix it. No pain, no strain, because I know how to fix it. Basically, you plug this camera in for the very first time. It'll boot up, have voice prompts that'll walk you through setting this thing up. In the instruction manual, there is the QR codes for the apps for Android or iOS. You just take your camera and point it at one of the QR codes and it'll take you to the app. Download the app real quick. Before the setup, you'll take your phone and it'll tell you to put your phone up near the camera, and it'll do this like beep 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 beep. Beep, 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 you know, some sort of communication between your phone and the camera to get the Wi-Fi password information onto the camera. But let me tell you what happened to me personally, so if it happens to you, you can fix it quickly. During this process, I accidentally entered my Wi-Fi password incorrectly. Total accident, missed a character. This thing said to retry, so I clicked the retry, and then I changed that, edited it, hit the retry, tried it again, and it hung up. It wouldn't communicate. It just wouldn't register the tones. So all I did is I pulled the power plug out of the back, plugged it back in, started all over from the beginning. The app still had my password in it. All the information was still in the app. I just hit the button to communicate with the thing when it told me to and fix the problem. This thing connected to my network, no problem. Okay guys, let's take a look at the app. This is the profile page of the app. This is where you'll find all your pertinent information. I'll go through each one of these so you can kind of check it out, and I'll comment as we go. The My album section is the part if you save a video, if you record a video or a picture, it will be stored in this section right here. And this is stored on your device, on your phone or your tablet or whatever it is you're using. So that's where that is. This members of the family section here is where you set up your face recognition situation. You take 5 pictures and different angles so the camera can recognize you. I'm going to tell you right now that I have not seen this work very well. Sometimes it recognizes me, sometimes it does not. So that is not really a working feature in my opinion. Value added services is a section where you can add more features by paying more. You can add 7 days of cloud storage or 30 days of cloud storage for added amounts. I believe it is going to be $4 a month for 7 days. 30 days is $9 a month, and you can add that if you want. Also, you can add the face recognition feature for family members for more than one person, up to 9 people for $5, a one-time fee. Those are the added features that you can add. If you find that useful, that's up to you. It comes with 1 day of cloud storage for free, and generally speaking, that's all that I can see myself needing. Okay, now in the general settings, you're just allowing push notifications, and that's it. And that's everything in this section. Okay guys, in this section here, this is what you'll see when you open the app after you have set up the camera, after you have added the camera. I've already added the camera. So we'll click on it, and this is what you'll see when you click on the camera, and you can have multiple cameras of course, but this is my camera. This cover picture changes every time you view the camera to the last image. The share feature is to invite your family members to use the camera, and you can set up what they can do, if they can change settings, exactly what features that they have access to, and then you can send that off. I've got Joanna added right there, as you can see. That number designates Joanna. That is not her likeness in any way, shape, or form, but that is Joanna. Trust me when I tell you. Okay, that's what that's for. The service button is all the extra features you can add, and as you can see, 1 day of cloud storage is free. Service is free forever. That's what you get with the purchase of the camera. Okay, now over here are your settings. You go in here, you can change the camera name to anything you want. Dynamic reminding is what they're calling the different security camera features. You got face recognition, motion detection, cloud storage, family push notification, and stranger push notification. Let's talk about each one of these so you know what they are. Face recognition is that what I previously talked about. You can turn that on and off. I leave it on just because I'm hoping that it improves. I got communication from the manufacturer that they're working on fixing the features, making them better. Motion detection, you can turn on manually, and it works very well. Motion detection works if you manually turn it on. Cloud storage is, self-explanatory. It's a cloud storage allowing that. Push notification, family push notifications. This is if you have more than one family member added, you'll get notifications for that family member. I don't have anybody else entered into that, so I don't need that turned on. Stranger push notification is if the camera does not recognize who it sees, so it'll give you a notification for that. Okay, backing out of this, you've got time zone and language, self-explanatory. Daylight savings time, self-explanatory. Camera picture, this is the orientation of the camera, either vertical or upside down. The calling mode, you can make this work like a telephone or a walkie-talkie. Basically, that's what that's for. Let's get out of there. Audio setting, this is the volume of the speaker for when you talk through the camera. So that's what that is. You set that there. It's interesting. It's called this breathing light. That's not what it says in iOS, by the way. It's actually labeled correctly. This is just the light on the camera to let you know when somebody's viewing the camera. This section here I need to talk about. You need to know about this part. This is the SD card recording feature, which allows you to record continuously. It allows you to trigger the camera with face recognition or motion and set up timers throughout the week. You know, have this all accessed at different times during the week and day, blah, blah, blah. None of this works. None of this actually functions at all. So the SD card slot on the side of the camera doesn't do anything yet. The manufacturer told me that they're working on getting this working, but as of now, this does not function. I have to review it as it was sent to me, so I have to tell you about it. I will notify you if they do get this working, because I intend to keep using this camera. So I will put that in the video description if in fact this ever starts to work. Okay, moving on. And then at the bottom is the firmware upgrade. You just click on that to update the firmware. The firmware was not the latest version when I got it. It updated to this version, the 7/16/2018, after I got it. Okay, out here. So let's go ahead and click on the video. This is the clarity of the video. Let me see if I can rotate this. There we go. This is really, really good video quality, guys. It's probably, like I've said before, the best video quality that I've ever seen in a security camera that I've ever tested, and that includes much more expensive cameras. So this really, really works well. Okay, I'll give you some samples of the video quality as well that I have recorded. And over here, these are the cloud. At the bottom here, you can see that these are the triggers for the day. It says under strangers. That's the camera not recognizing the person. Okay, guys, the microphone in the center, that's for talking over the camera, the two-way communication. The microphone talking, the sound that you hear coming back is not as good as the audio that you transmit. So just you know, something to keep in mind, something to mention. It's not unworkable, but it's not as good. Okay, I can't hit that right now because I'm screen recording. And same with the camera icon to the right of that is for taking a picture if you so desire. This button right here at the bottom right hand corner that says local video, that's what would be on the SD card. And if you remember from what I said previously, none of that works. So don't worry about that at this moment. At this moment, none of that works. And that's basically the complete walkthrough of the app. It works really well. I'd like to mention that the app has been 100% reliable. I haven't had any app crashes on Android or iOS. Everything has worked exactly like it's supposed to have worked. I'm very happy with that. I cannot say that for many other cameras that I've used, and that's really an accomplishment all in itself right there. Hey everybody, let's now talk about my final thoughts on this camera, whether or not it's worth it. This camera costs $29. Bearing that in mind, that weighs heavily on my opinion of this camera. Okay, this camera is $29. It makes claims at being a security camera. I think, if I'm being honest, it falls slightly short of a security camera because some of the security features do not work. You can manually turn on the motion detection and then it functions as a security camera, but the fact that you have to manually turn that on, there's no scheduling that is functioning right now. I have communicated with the manufacturer and they told me that they are working on these problems. Clearly they are fixing them because there were problems in my 2-week testing that are now fixed. I think that this new product has got a few growing pains. I mean, I will report back if these, like, look in the comments of this video, and I'll update, because I'm going to continue to use this camera, so I'll update this if these features are fit. As it was sent to me, as I have it now, this is my opinion of it. So as a security cam falls short of that. This camera as a pet camera, as a camera to look in on your house to see what's going on, to check on stuff, to communicate with your pet. As a pet cam, this thing is everything you've ever wanted it to be, and then some. The picture quality of this camera is better than any camera I've ever tested. It actually streams in 1080p and really does that. I mean, there's a lot of cameras I've tested that claim that after I ran my tests, it wasn't true. This is actually 1080p resolution. It looks crystal clear. I think it's an exceptional pet camera. Let me show you some samples as the video ends here. And I guess my final conclusion is going to be this after you watch the samples. Here's my final conclusion. As a security camera, I'm going to say currently it's not recommendable as of the way it was sent to me. As a pet cam, it is wholeheartedly recommended. Absolutely. Like for $29, you could afford to buy 2 or 3 of these and put them in every room of your house. The reliability of this camera, let me just speak of that before I close the video. The reliability of this camera is also, it amazed me because I have other security cameras. I've tested many security cameras. Sometimes the reliability comes into question, like when you're on your phone and you go to log in to check your camera, it doesn't work. It gives you some error message, blah blah, something's wrong. You know, you can't use it when you want. You have to wait, it'll reconnect or whatever, and then you can use it. I have several of those cameras that do that. I have expensive cameras that do that. This camera, for the entire time that I was testing it, and believe me, I ran the wheels off of this thing. The intercom part of this camera worked 100%. That's saying something for 29 bucks. That being said, guys, I hope this was of some help for you people out there that are looking for a camera like this. You know, I'll report back if those features come online and they start working. I am going to be checking back and using this camera on a daily basis, so if they start working, I will let you know. Talking to you guys on the next one. On that end.